school hockey as the Little Falls Flyers with a record of 10-5 take on the Becker Big Lake Eagles with a record of 4-10. Hello everyone, James Hershey with you. Glad to be with you tonight. Joining me to my left is Jamie Pettit, and tonight we are on the television tonight to bring you Flyer hockey here, Jamie.
A little different perspective from us because normally it's a radio-only game. However, this year we've had the chance to do now our third television broadcast, and it's kind of exciting. We've got our own television monitor here tonight to watch the game if we get some action that we're not able to see, or to look at replays after the Flyers score multiple times tonight.
And of course, if you listen to our radio broadcast against Sartell on Saturday, Jamie Pettit promised that he would be wearing the suit coat or sport coat today. So you might as well flash that off right now on television.
Yep, we're all dressed up. Some have claimed that I am resembling Don Cherry, some kind of a Don Cherry type look, and I said, well, this is a little on the conservative side. I might have to ramp it up if I want to get into Cherry's league.
All right, let's take a look at both teams. First of all, it's for the Flyers, and we talked about this in our radio broadcast. We bring you in now on the television broadcast too, and the game of the other night of the afternoon against Sartell. A game where the Flyers actually led late in the third period, 4-3. However, they just couldn't hang on.
If you back it up just a little before that, Sartell had scored early in the second period, so they had a 2-0 lead, and it didn't look good for Little Falls. They're down 2-0 on home ice to one of the top teams in Section 6A, and Bryce Diamena scored a critical goal for Little Falls at 5:52. Nice outlet pass from Mario Filippi within the Little Falls Flyers zone. Up ahead to Diamenez at the offensive blue line. Diamenez went in and scored, and that energized the Flyers. Flyers were able to tie it 2-2. Sartell took a 3-2 lead into the second period intermission, but Little Falls scored the first two goals of the third period from Ben Sawada and Remington Retka. 4-3, Little Falls Flyer lead, but Flyers took a penalty with about a little less than 7 minutes to go in the third. Jack Henneman scored on the power play for Sartell. Henneman's the leading scorer as a sophomore for the Sabres. 4-4, game goes into overtime, and 42 seconds into the extra session, it's Jack Henneman again with the game-winning goal. For the second year in a row, Sartell wins in overtime on Little Falls Flyer ice.
And of course, with the loss that Sartell gave the Flyers, it was the second loss in a row, the second loss in the section. And you actually have to go all the way back to November when the first time the Flyers had lost back-to-back games, that being the opening game against Hibbing 4-1, and then the 9-3 loss to Alexandria. Other than that, they've only had the other loss, which was to Virginia when they started out 1-4. Since then, they rattled off 9 straight wins before the back-to-back losses to St. Cloud Cathedral and Sartell, which are playing tonight in Sartell.
We knew going into last week that it was going to be a tough week for Little Falls. Some are projecting that St. Cloud Cathedral and Sartell, possibly the top two teams in the section. I'm sure Alexandria would also like to be mentioned in that conversation. So Little Falls was at the MAC on Thursday night against an explosive team from St. Cloud Cathedral. It's possibly the best first line that I've seen this year. Van Hallback, Spethman, Belts, and their speed was a little too much for the Flyers to handle halfway through the first. Flyers were able to stabilize the situation. They stayed in it. They stayed in it until latter stages of the third period. Himley gets a goal. It's 3-1, but then Cathedral got 2 goals in a matter of less than a minute, and they put it away 5-1. So you knew going into the week that it was going to be tough for Little Falls with St. Cloud Cathedral and Sartell on the schedule. They lose 5-1 to Cathedral, but it was much closer than that. And then they get Sartell on home ice. They have a lead in the third period, can't hold on. They lose in overtime. I think what they can take from last week is the fact that if St. Cloud Cathedral and Sartell are the top two teams in the section, that they can play with them later in the season.
We'll have some score updates, hopefully, of that Sartell St. Cloud Cathedral game coming up here later on in the broadcast, as that being played at Pepsi Burnix Arena in Sartell. As I mentioned, the Flyers a 2-game losing streak coming into tonight, and they'd like to change that, and this is a team that they have an opportunity to beat. in Becker Big Lake, the Eagles. So far, they've played them, I believe it's 5 times. They are 4-1, and they had a win last year against the Becker Big Lake Eagles.
They played Becker Big Lake on December 15th, 2015. Little Falls beat Becker Big Lake 5-1. The game was in Princeton. That's where Becker Big Lake plays their home. That's their home rink, Princeton. Little Falls had a 60-9 shots on goal advantage, and Landon Bjorgi had 2 goals in that game.
You can look at the screen right now, the Flyer Fab 5 and some of the top scorers so far. And as we had talked about a little bit in our pregame here with Bryce DiDomenes, he's the leading scorer right now for the Flyers. Right behind him, you have Ben Sawada and Landon Johnson. Remington Retka really starting to come on too. And a guy that's really stepped up his game this year is the senior number 26, Adam Josephson.
Adam Josephson has the best plus-minus for the Little Falls Flyers. He's a plus 18. He's tied for the team lead in goals scored with 11 with his line mate, Ben Sawada. Let's talk a minute about that Flyer first line of Josephson, Sawada, and Bryce DiDomenes. In talking to Coach Kuchar last night, he pointed something out that I hadn't necessarily noticed on the stat sheet. DiDomenes, first line left wing for the Flyers. Ben Sawada, first line center for the Flyers. Adam Josephson, first line right wing. DiDomenes does not have a penalty this year. Ben Sawada does not have a penalty this year. Adam Josephson, just 1 minor penalty. So the Flyers' first line combined, 1 minor penalty whistled against those 3. That's almost unheard of 15 games into the season.
Yeah, that's some great stat work there, too. And you see our first line tonight there on the screen, and the defensive pairings, too, of Johnson and Murad. And that's one of the question marks this year coming in, was defensively how this Flyer team was going to handle themselves. They had some players that they lost to graduation, and they also, as you see there, they lost the Hunter Swanson with the foot injury. There is a slight potential maybe Hunter Swanson could still play yet this year, but it's hard to tell if that's going to happen or not.
And also a scratch for the Little Falls Flyers tonight is Blade Rasmussen. Hunter Swanson, even though he hasn't played for the Flyers on the ice, he's still a captain. He's still involved with the team, still in the locker room, still on the trips, still an integral part of this team, and we'll see if maybe Hunter Swanson gets a chance later in the season. It might take a deep playoff run.
Going back to the Becker Big Lake Eagles, not a team that's known to win a lot of games. In fact, they've only had 1 winning season in their history, haven't they, Jamie?
This is the 17th season of varsity hockey for Becker Big Lake. And as James mentioned, just 1 winning season in 2013, 2014. They were 13-12. I have them with 64 wins over 16 seasons.
Taking a look at some of the key players tonight that you'll be watching for the Eagles. First of all, the guy number 71 you see on your screen there, Weston Shug. He has so far 18 goals, 2 assists for 20 points. He's going to have to be somebody that we're going to watch tonight.
41.9% of Becker Big Lake's goals comes from Weston Shug. 18 of Becker Big Lake's 43 goals. And he wears kind of a football number, 71.
Yeah, he does. He does. That'd be Malkin's number, isn't it?
I think you're right.
I think he is. For the
Benny Malkin for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Which were in a shootout.
Nothing gets by you.
Which was a shootout yesterday in the Ovechkin-Crosby matchup, huh?
TV loves it when Crosby goes up against Ovechkin. Ratings are sky high for games like that.
As we mentioned, the top scorers for the Flyers, Shug is their top scorer for the Eagles. Also on there is Ryan Murney. He comes in with 14 points. Murnani, that is. He has 8 goals, 6 assists for 14 points. And then also with 14 points is Aubrey Hartfeld. Hartfeld has 5 goals, 9 assists for 14 points.
The starting goaltender for the Becker Big Lake Eagles is Zach Peel. He's played 616 minutes. He's 4-9. His goals against average is 5.96, a save percentage of 85.2%.
And, of course, on the other side for the Flyers in the net tonight, you'll have Justin Pakula. And Justin has been playing some games this year, had some big games, and then he's had some problems, too, here and there. But Justin Pakula tonight in the net and trying to get back in the winning track for him.
And Justin Pakula is 10-5 overall. He's played 701 minutes with a 2.6 goals against average, save percentage of 89.8%, and he does have 1 shutout, and that came against the Fergus Falls Otters back in December. Defensively, it's Trenton Axel and Josh Jennings. And up front, the Flyers' first line of Bryce Diamenez, Ben Sawada, and Adam Josephson. And as we just mentioned a couple minutes ago, that front line of Diamenez, Sawada, and Josephson, just one penalty this season combined.
Alrighty, we're just about ready to have the start of the game, but before that, we have to have our national anthem. There's the playing of the national anthem, and we're just about ready for high school hockey tonight here on Channel 181, also on the Cube and on YouTube.
Tony Kuchar has not been happy with the way the Little Falls Flyers have played in the first period this season. They've only scored 6 first-period goals in 15 games. The plan tonight is to ramp up the intensity in the first 5 minutes of the first period. Little Falls wants to do a much better job in period 1. If you look at period 2, the Flyers have outscored their opponents 28-10. So 6 first-period goals, 28 in the second. Hard to explain.
It is. It is hard to explain, but they need to get a good start tonight, and what a better way to do that against the Becker Big Lake Eagles. They come in, as I mentioned at the start of the game, they're 4-10 on the year. The Flyers are 10-5. Of course, this is a non-conference game. These two teams actually used to play in the conference, the Granite Ridge Conference. That since has no longer on the hockey side. They still do compete when it comes to basketball, football, and all those. But actually, the Eagles now of Becker Big Lake are in the Two Rivers Conference now, so they compete with the likes of Mora, Princeton, and others over there. We're just about ready to drop the puck at center ice. The puck is down, and we are underway with high school hockey tonight here on Channel 181 at YouTube and the Cube. And it's played down behind the netminder. Down there for the Eagles that time, that being a Zach Peel. Out back into the Flyer zone it comes. Netminder Justin Bakula looks over the shoulder. Puck taken away here by the Eagles now, as that was touched there by Hernani. He had it for a short time, and then it's intercepted there by the Flyers and flipped back out to center ice. Briefly picked up there by Trenton Axel. Now on the tape here of Sawada. And Sawada tries to come out of his own end. Knocked down there by Schrug. They say it was played with a high stick, so he has to let up, and here come the Flyers. They'll come across the blue line. This is Axel with it. Axel goes into the right circle, centers a pass out in front. He's looking for Diamenez there, unable to get it to him. Now it's Philippi for a short time, and then it's cleared the length of the ice, and we'll get our first icing call here of the game with 16:02 to go in the first, no score.
In the 5-4 overtime loss to Sartell on Saturday afternoon, I named Bryce Diamenez the player of the game in our post-game show, but there were other worthy candidates. Mario Philippi played well. Remington Retka played well. Philippi ended up with a goal and 2 assists in that game, including a beautiful assist on the Diamenez goal in period 2.
Shot coming from the right point there from Landon Johnson, which has been shaken up a little bit. He's nursing a slight injury, so we'll have to watch him tonight. There's a chance in front as Capan was there, as Remington Retka sent that one right through the crease area. Along the boards once again, the Flyers have it. This is Capan. He'll get it back to the point to Johnson. Johnson now over to Jennings. Jennings the circle. Shot on net. Save made there by the netminder Pio. And then the Becker Big Lake Bulldog, or the Eagles will send it to length of the ice. Leave it off there as the netminder Pakula got it up to Johnson. Now on the tape of Remington Recca to Murad, who dumps it in. Back to get there first for the Eagles. This is Beckstrom with it. Beckstrom gets some help there, and they're trying to send it out to center ice. There is Duran, and Duran will get it out to center. Picked right back up here by Josephson. Josephson comes across the blue line, leaves it off now for Murad. Murad moving in, and that one goes off some skates in front and comes back out to center ice. Picked back up here once again by Johnson. He'll dump it in, and the Becker Big Lake Eagles will try to clear it out to center. Good job there that time on the forecheck is Ben Sawada taking out the player, that being Duran that goes to the ice. Puck is behind the netminder Peel now, and Duran has it. He'll play it up along the boards, held in at the right point here this time by Trenton Axel. Axel will try to cycle it back down, quickly touched there by Jake Peel for the Eagles. And it will be brought to the line, but not out. Held in here by Diedemann as backhand goes into the corner. And it'll be sent off the glass and all the way down the length of the ice by the Eagles as Alec Duran wants a face-off coming up here with 12. Make that 14-21 to go in the first, no score.
Persistent pressure for the Little Falls Flyers in the offensive zone. Becker Big Lake has been able to nothing more than get a hold of the puck and send it down the length of the ice. Little Falls has done a good job of maintaining control of the puck in the offensive zone early in the first.
Himley in the draw circle that time. He wins the draw, gets it back to Jakowski. Here's a quick shot from Axel that goes wide of the net. Peel looks over the shoulder, and the Eagles will bring it back out to neutral ice. Jennings tries to get there first, right in front of the players' box, in front of the Eagles, and now it's picked up by Jakowski, right circle. A wrist shot there, save, rebound in front, tipped towards the netminder. That time was Ballou, who got pulled down from behind. Now a shot from the point by Jennings reaches the net of Peel, and back the other way now come the Eagles at center ice. Max Nelson will dump it in, and the puck quickly taken away there by Trenton Axel, who gives it over to Jennings. Josh Jennings now up on the left wing side to Ballou. Intercepted, however, by the Eagles there, and Duran will dump it all the way back down for Becker Big Lake. First to touch up that time is Hartfield with it. Lost it, and it's Axel flipping it back out to center ice. Beckstrom brings it down once again for the Eagles at center ice. Now picked up here by Remington Recca. Over to Philippi, back to Recca. Tries to pass over to Capan. He scores! And a nice tic-tac-toe passing there between Mario Philippi, Remington Recca, and capped off by Jake Capan, his fourth of the year.
Good passing play from the Little Falls Flyers' second line, and eventually it's Capan netting his fourth goal of the season. Play was down in the Little Falls Flyers zone, and from there, as we look at the replay, it starts down in their own defensive zone. Eventually they go screaming hard into the Eagles zone, and capping it off the Little Falls is Capan. Good pass from Philippi to Retka to Capan at the side of the net.
Coach Fredericks right now having a conversation here and asking, I'm not sure exactly if he's asking for an offside call or what here, but he's talking with the two officials right now just below us here. So we'll have to wait and see what that was all about. I guess he got the explanation that he wanted, and we'll face it off. 1-0 is the lead, and scoring there is Capan. So Capan scores the goal. Mario Philippi will get assist, and the other assist will go to Remington Retka, and it is 1-0 in favor of Little Falls. Just the 7th goal scored for the Flyers in the first period, and it comes in game number 15.
That's an accomplishment in itself.
It is. Here's Remington Retka. Back to the point, now to Murad. Low shot there, hit off a skate of one of the Eagles. Played back out to center. This is Johnson. Had it taken away. Here's Shrug coming in. He's got a 3-on-1. Pass back there, and he couldn't hold on to it that time as Renan. Puck is loose now. Picked up here by Remington Retka, trying to get it out to center ice, and then Capan will get it out to neutral ice. Gets it over to Retka, and Retka will dump it in deep down to the Eagle end. Well, the Eagles there, Jamie, had a 3-on-1 potential, and they couldn't get anything going.
And we talked about Weston Shug in the pregame. His ability to score goals for Becker Big Lake. He's got 18 goals this season, about 42% of the offense for the Eagles. He's got 5 goals in his last 2 games, including a hat trick in the loss to Evelyn Gilbert, and it was Shug that clearly made the play for Becker Big Lake in the offensive zone, and it was an odd man rush down low near Justin Pakula, and fortunately for Little Falls, Becker Big Lake was unable to capitalize.
On that last play there, Murad took a shot. It actually went off the top of Peel and off the crossbar and out of play. So Murad nearly had the second goal of the period already here for the Flyers. 12 minutes to go here in the opening frame, and a 1-0 lead for Little Falls. Becker Big Lake will get it out to center, and bringing it in on the left side that time is Hartfell. He'll be dumped into play. Trying to get down there is Kohler right now for Becker Big Lake, and instead it'll be taken here by Axel. Trenton Axel has Sam Himley, just got onside. Axel now behind the netminder Peel down on the Eagles' end. Goes into the corner, leaves it off there for Josephson. Josephson trying to work around a couple of these would-be forecheckers, and now it's finally controlled here by Sawada. Sawada trying to center a pass out in front, knocked down by one of the Eagles that time. That Mihalic. And then it's played up here now by Sawada once again. Sawada gets over to the far side, unable to touch it there, and it was the Eagles and clear it out. Kept in here by D. Jimenez. Trying to get it down to the circle there to Josephson. Now on the tape there's Sawada to D. Jimenez, who's behind the netminder Peel. On that far side left circle, moving in. Shot taken there by Axel. And save is made by the netminder, Zach Peel, and he will hold on.
And once again, the Little Falls Flyers controlling the play in the offensive zone with that first line on the ice of Bryce Diamenez, Ben Sawada, and Adam Josephson. Eventually, they get the puck around to the left side. Trenton Axel was there, stepped in from the line, took a shot from there. The goaltender, Zach Peel, a sophomore for Becker Big Lake, made the save.
Trying to clear it around the boards is Beckstrom here for the Eagles. Will be intercepted here now by Remington Redka, and then it's right back on the tape there of Murnan, and Murnan gets it out to center ice, trying to find their Weston Shrug, who's got the leading goal scorer. He's got actually, for anybody out on the ice, he's got the most goals. He's got 18 of them. Flyers back on the attack once again. Penalty coming up here. This is going to go against Becker Big Lake. We'll have our first power play of the night for the Flyers as Shrug touches it there. And who's going to be exited to the box here? It's going to be a slashing call coming up against the Eagles.
Remington Redka had his stick come from his hands in the neutral zone because of that slash. He actually picked up the stick, and he was trying to play the puck with the butt end of his stick. He had it backwards, or had it upside down, and he actually tried to play the puck with the butt end of the stick before he could get it settled in his hands.
So Weston Shrug goes to the box, 2 minutes for slashing. And a power play coming up here for the Flyers. As they're just under 20% on the power play this year. See what they can do here. And moving in, this is Remington Redka. Shot taken there. That hit somebody before it ever reached the netminder Peel. And the Eagles cleared the length of the ice.
10 power play goals for Little Falls. 6 belong to Ben Sawada. This is the Flyers' first power play unit. Up front, they use Diamenez, Remington Redka, and Ben Sawada, and defensively it's Jennings and Landon Johnson.
Brought it across the line, and then it's quickly taken by the Eagles and sent the length of the ice again. Pakula going to leave it off there for Landon Johnson. 9:45 to go here in the first. Minute 15 to go on the power play here for the Flyers, their first of the night, and not getting things set up right now as it comes back out to neutral ice. Johnson gets it now to Jennings. Jennings now will bring it across the blue line. He'll leave it there for Remington Redka. Redka moves into the circle, fanned on it, got his chance to shoot again, and then shot that one wide. Opportunity now here for the Flyers once again. That was Sawada who was tied up. Being dumped in front that time was D. Jimenez there as he got dumped by Jake Peel. Play continues on back at center ice. 45 seconds left on the power play here for the Flyers. Landon Johnson once again across the blue line, looking to find somebody to pass to. That's D. Jimenez. D. Jimenez skates right in front. Nice poke check there by the netminder that time, Zach Peel, to make sure that wasn't going to be an opportunity. Here's a chance once again for D. Jimenez. Trying to center it over to Mario Philippi, just out of his reach. Now it's Trenton Axel. He gets it back here to Johnson. Quick shot in front. That was Mario Philippi with the tip. Kind of fanned on the first one and then got a little bit of a shot towards the netminder Peel, and he holds on.
Good play by Landon Johnson back at the offensive blue line. Instead of taking some kind of a wild slap shot, he sends it in towards the net. It came on, save was made. Mario Philippi was there for the rebound for the Little Falls Flyers and could not get it past Zach Peel in the Becker Big Lake net.
19 seconds left on the power play. Quick shot taken there by Murad. Blocker pad save there by the netminder Peel, and the Eagles send it the length of the ice. This might kill the rest of the penalty. Just 5 seconds left on the slashing call to Shug, as he will be coming out of the box in just a moment. He does now. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Flyers, though, on the attack. Held in here by Murad. Shot taken there. That one ricocheted over the cage. Now an opportunity by make that Philippi and Mario as he sends that one through the slot. And it goes into the corner. Touch there now briefly by Tchaikovsky to Philippi. Philippi now will try to pass it back to Axel, and it's intercepted here by Becker Big Lake, as that is Kohler that'll send it over there and just off the tape there of Max Nelson. Back now come the Flyers at center ice. This is Murad. Avoids a check just below us here. That's Anderson that they avoided. And Murad will dump it deep down into the Eagle zone. 7:40 to go here in the first. 1-0, Little Falls leading Becker Big Lake. And the Eagles will send it around the boards. Trying to clear it out on the left side, and held in this time by Johnson. Another blocker save made there by the netminder Peel. And then the outlet pass too strong to handle there. Icing coming up here against Becker Big Lake.
Shots favor Little Falls 10-1 with 7:22 remaining in the first period of play. Only goal of period one at 3:42. Jake Capan's fourth goal of the season. First assist Remington Redka. Second assist Mario Philippi. We were talking about players that haven't taken penalties this year for the Flyers that play regular shifts, including Bryce Diamedes, Ben Sawada. Not to be outdone, the second line center Jake Capan, he hasn't taken a penalty either.
No, he hasn't. And Jake's starting to step up a little bit more in the scoring column, too. He had a good start, kind of had a little drought, and now he's starting to pick up some points again as he had 2 points in the loss against Sartell.
This line works well together. Capan centering Mario Philippi on the right and Remington Redka on the left. And as we talked about earlier, I thought both Redka and Philippi had strong games for Little Falls in the 5-4 overtime loss on Saturday.
We'll try to get it back on the tape of Johnson. That goes out to center. Johnson gets it up to Remington Redka. Touch there at the blue line. Capan puts a hit on there. One thing that head coach Tony Kuchar talked about, at least in the Sartell game, was they were trying to get 75 hits. I don't know if that's still what they're going to try to do here. And they'll wave off the icing. But we haven't seen a lot of hitting so far in this game. It's been pretty much free-flowing, at least early on. Here's a 2-on-2 developing. This is Redka coming across the line with Philippi. He fires that one just wide. And the puck controlled here by Beckstrom for the Eagles. That should be an icing call coming up here on Becker Big Lake with 6:31 to go in the first. 1-0 Little Falls.
Line chart tonight for the Little Falls Flyers. Ben Sawada centers Bryce Diamedes and Adam Josephson. Jake Capan's the second line center. Remington Redka on the left. Mario Philippi on the right. Sam Himley centers line 3. Brett Tchaikovsky on the left. Ethan Ballou on the right. Fourth line tonight for the Little Falls Flyers features Dean Gerosier, Jackson Card, and Devin Young.
Sawada looks like he's going to get kicked out of the circle. Diedemann is going to come in instead. He'll take the draw there from Marnan. Marnan wins the draw this time. Eagles push it up along the boards. That's Shrug with it, trying to get it to Marnan. And nice job there by Diedemann to cause some havoc. Marnan has it back behind his own netminder right now for the Eagles. Sends it out in the slot. There's a chance by Josephson, and Peel gets a piece of that one. A dangerous give up there by the Eagles and nearly capitalized by the Flyers. Coming across the blue line now are the Eagles with it. Really not much set-up offense yet for them. They have had very little chance in the offensive zone as we've turned pretty much our most attention down in the Eagles' end. Offensively, once again, here's Sawada across. But they'll say Diedemann was just ahead of the play, and the reason for the whistle and the offside.
Becker Big Lake tonight dresses 17. They have 3 seniors, 6 juniors, 6 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. They're 4-10 overall. And the 4 wins are against Bagley, Dodge County, a team from Wisconsin, and Moose Lake.
Yeah, the competition that Becker Big Lake plays probably isn't as strong as what the Flyers play. It's what the program has gotten better over the years, though. Before and the tough thing about them is that, back in the day, they used to be in Class AA. And they had to go against like the Roseau and all that, and it was difficult. So they had a hard time. A lot of those games, I remember seeing scores, and they would be in the 13-0, 16-0 category when it came playoff time.
They spent 10 years in Section 8 AA.
At a high stick here, and a faceoff going to come back down in the Eagles zone. Minnesota Wild in action tonight. Hopefully you're watching our game at home right now, but if you're not, I want to know a Wild update after 1 period to play. Wild are leading the New Jersey Devils by a score of 1-0. The Central Division leading Minnesota Wild.
They're down 2-0 to Chicago on Sunday. In Chicago.
I
They're on the road, and they win. Bruce Boudreau has the magic touch.
The question for Bruce, though, is that he doesn't do as well in the playoffs. That's been his kind of issue a little bit. He's got his teams to win conference titles or division titles, but once they get to the playoffs, he's had a hard time getting beyond that.
Yeah, the problem in the NHL is if you just get in, if you get in as a 7th seed, you get in as an 8th seed, you got a chance.
That's absolutely right. And we've seen it many times. The 8th seed is one, and the LA Kings
The LA Kings come to mind, yeah.
Exactly.
Harold Sutter's LA Kings.
They squeaked in, I think, with the last game to win just to get into the playoffs, and then they ultimately become the Stanley Cup champs. Of course, I think Jamie Quick played pretty well in those games, if I remember right. He was standing on his head. You get a good goaltender, and that's what happens. Big hit that time there by Johnson, as he put a hit on Garrett Anderson right in front of the Becker Big Lake bench. Played out to center ice here now, as Becker Big Lake touch it, trying to move it towards the Flyer blue line. Intercepted here by Murad. Murad pinned to the wall as he came across. Now Murad picks it up in the corner, down in the Eagle end. Andrew Murad still down deep. They're going to make a change here as Murad in deep. Get Capan now, or check that. That's Dita Menes out there to complete the line. Josephson passes it back to Johnson. Puck is deflected in front. Now on the tape of Dita Menes. Dita Menes goes behind the netminder Peel. Still Dita Menes with the circle. Now to Josephson. Back to Sawada there, and that was a little tic-tac-toe play there. That did reach the net. Not a hard shot there, but Peel had to make the save, and it's cleared the length of the ice once again by Becker Big Lake. Johnson now will pick it up as he got the pass there from the goaltender Pakula. Just out of the reach of Sawada, and controlled here now by the Eagles, and this is Hartfield will bring it across the blue line. Hartfield gets it to Kohler. Kohler had it taken away here by Sawada, and Sawada will dump it into the corner. They'll chase after it. Peel will push it back behind the net, and the defense for the Eagles, and Beckstrom will try to get over on the left wing side there to Hartfeld, and they out to center ice there. Nelson, he is brought down. Play continues on. Picked up here by Trenton Axel. Axel at center ice, down the blue line. Axel ahead of steam, shot up high, and the glove save made there by the sophomore goaltender, Zach Peel.
Trenton Axel, senior defenseman for the Little Falls Flyers, not afraid to jump up into the rush, to join the play, goes into the offensive zone, took the shot on his own, save made by Zach Peel, sophomore goaltender for Becker Big Lake.
Face-off down in the Eagles' end once again. Down to 2:49 to go here in the first. Still a 1-0 lead on the goal scored by Capan. There's a quick shot there that time by Jennings. And once again, a pad-made save there. Blocker, the waffle pad by the netminder, Peel. I believe shot number 11 in the game for the Flyers. 11-1, they're out shooting them right now. Out at center ice now. Picked up here by Jennings. This will come in out of the netminder, Peel. The stick save, leaves it off there for Jake Peel, the defense. They'll play it to the line, but not out. Jennings once again puts that one in the corner this time. Peel comes over to try to take it away. Intercepted here by the Flyers. Pass a little bit too strong that time to Mario Filippi. And Shrug will backhand it all the way down. This should be an icing call on the Eagles with 1:59 to go in the first. Flyers lead 1-0.
And the best defense that Becker Big Lake has been able to find here in the first period is to send the puck down the length of the ice to draw the icing call. One thing we talked about last week in the two Flyer losses to Cathedral 5-1 on Thursday and 5-4 in overtime to Sartell on Saturday. Flyers didn't win enough faceoffs. They lost too many faceoffs. Tonight, they're doing a nice job winning the draws in the offensive zone.
Himley in the circle, going to try to win that draw. A little scrum for it, and that time it's pushed ahead there by Hartfield.
Himley didn't come through for me. He was supposed to win that face-off after I made that comment.
Yep, and visually you could see that too here as we're on channel 181 tonight. Here's a tip in front and a score by the Eagles. It was redirected by Max Nelson for the Eagles, and we are tied at 1.
Becker Big Lake gets the equalizer at 15-16 of the first period of play. A good tip in front of the Flyer net.
Came back to the left point, and the shot was taken there, and then Nelson was kind of coming across the netminder, and as you can see here on the replay, held in at the point and then sent towards the net, and it was just tipped by Nelson.
Flyers tried to send it around the end boards, and it didn't escape the zone.
So Hartfield is going to get the assist, and Nelson will get credit for the goal. I think they gave a second assist too, didn't they?
Yes, there's 2 assists on the play. Flyers' inability to get the puck out of the zone. Becker Big Lake did a good job of holding it in at the left point. Shot from there, tipped in front, a beautiful redirect, just like you'd see executed in practice. Becker Big Lake takes care of what they needed to at this point of the first period to get their first of the game. They've tied it at 1.
So that 1-0 lead for the Flyers erased, and we're under a minute to go here in the first as we are tied at 1, and that has put some life into the Eagles now here. Held in now by Axel as he comes in from the right point. Taken there by Josephson, played around the boards, the end wall, this time now to DiDomenis. DiDomenis has it now at the high slot. He'll come over now to the right circle. DiDomenis still with it. A circle around the net. DiDomenis on the left side. He got tripped there. Play continues on. He got hooked right down there that time by Beckstrom. That probably should have been a penalty. Play continues on though. Once the officials were lulled to sleep by DiDomenis just doing a circle around. Back out to center it comes, and it'll be Axel dumping it in. First to touch there is Jake Peel for the Eagles. They'll play it off the boards out to center ice. This gets through everyone. They'll actually wave off the icing down to 7 seconds left. That looks like period number 1 is going to come to an end, tied at 1-1. Maybe one last chance. Shot there by Retka. That one wide, and that will do it. Our first period is done.
3:42 into the first period. Little Falls gets their first goal of the game. Jake Capan's 4th of the season. Retka and Mario Filippi received assists. Tony Kuchar told me last night that they wanted to ramp up the intensity in the first 5 minutes of the period. They wanted to score 1 or more goals. They get 1, only their 7th first period goal of the season. They controlled the play, did the Little Falls Flyers, in the offensive zone. But all it took was one play in the defensive zone for the Flyers. The inability to get the puck out. Becker Big Lake held the zone. Shot came from the line. Beautiful tip in front by Max Nelson, his 4th goal of the season at 15-16, and we're tied 1-1 after 1. Shots favor the Flyers 11-2, and as we see the replay here, Little Falls did not ring it around the boards hard enough. Now this is interesting. Saturday night, Coach's Corner, Don Cherry talked about that. He said if you're going to ring it around the boards, you make sure you shoot it hard enough or use the glass. Little Falls did not shoot it around the boards hard enough. That gave Becker Big Lake the chance to keep it in, and they scored from there.
That they did, and this game is tied at 1 apiece, and head coach Tony Kuchar probably not too excited to go into the locker room tied at 1.
Probably not too excited, but the territorial advantage clearly in favor of the Little Falls Flyers. They need to come out with a strong second period start. They need to maintain the pressure in the offensive zone and see where it goes from there. You got that top line of Sawada, Diamenez, and Josephson that did well in the offensive zone. The second line of Capan, Retka, and Philippi that also had their way in the offensive zone. It might just be a matter of time before the Flyers can distance themselves from Becker Big Lake. But give the Eagles credit. They only had 2 shots on goal in the first, and they have the game tied 1-1 going into the first period intermission.
That's what I was going to say. Only 2 shots for the Eagles, but you know, you don't need many shots when you're tied at 1-1. It takes 1, and that's what happened.
And sometimes you can get lulled to sleep. Sometimes you can get a little complacent, and that's maybe what happened to the Flyers there late in the period.
All right, we're going to take a intermission break. Make sure you're watching here on channel 181 and also on YouTube and the Cube. We'll take a brief break here, and we'll come back with some more comments. coming up in just a few moments, and we'll have the second period. After 1 period of play, our score, Little Falls 1, Becker Big Lake 1. righty, welcome back once again here to the Exchange Arena in Little Falls. James Hershey along with Jamie Pettit here on Channel 181, also on YouTube and theCUBE. And one thing we should point out is the production team that's putting this on, and you're seeing a list of them right now of the director, the graphics, the camera operators, of course the advisors too. This is all student run, and they have done a phenomenal job. And I know you and I have had a chance to talk with a few of the kids, and I've had a chance to do this over a couple other times in the baseball, softball too. And I think this is just a great program for Little Falls High School to have this Flyer Media Productions Video Club.
It's a professional type broadcast.
Yeah.
I was talking to a couple Flyer faithful before we came up to the press box, and I said, these are young high school students putting this production on. I said, they're the brains behind the operations. I said, Hershey and I are just simply mannequins that'll essentially talk every once in a while. But I said, we're the brains behind the operation. That's not us.
No, not at all.
They're in the production truck, they're running the cameras, and they're doing a great job.
And we love doing this for them because we're helping those guys out get better on the cameras, get better on the production, the graphics, and all that. And hopefully all of them can maybe turn this into a career someday. So I feel good about us doing this and helping them out there.
Dave Gertz is kind of like the Wizard of Oz.
Absolutely.
He does it all.
He's made us sound good too. So let's see if he can make the Flyers look good here in intermission, after intermission number 1 into period 2 and 3. As right now we are tied 1-1 after 1 period of play. Let's get a scoring summary, Jamie.
And Little Falls took the lead at 3:42 of the first period. Jake Capan's 4th goal of the season. First assist, Remington Retka. Second assist, Mario Philippi. Becker Big Lake would tie it at 15-16 of the first. Max Nelson, his 4th goal of the season. First assist, Ryan Mernan. Second assist, Audrey Hartfield. Nelson for the Becker Big Lake Eagles, and Jake Capan for the Little Falls Flyers, the goal scorers in period 1. And with that assist for Remington Retka, he now has 8 points in his last 5 games.
One other score to pass along. We talked about it in the pregame show about Sartell taking on St. Cloud Cathedral in Sartell, and after 1 period of play, they are tied at 1-1 down in Sartell. A goal scored by Connor Belts to start things out early on, and then a power play goal scored late by Doomer for Sartell, tied it up at 1-1, so 1-1 after 1.
And shots favor St. Cloud Cathedral in that game, 11-4.
11-4 on that. So no score update yet for girls hockey, as the Brainerd Little Falls girls in action tonight. They're in Princeton, taking on the Princeton Tigers, and of course 17-1 are the Brainerd Little Falls Warriors. And in fact, coming up on Thursday night, we'll have a radio broadcast on FM 94 KFML, as it'll be a matchup between Sartell Sauk Rapids and Brainerd Little Falls. We'll chat about that coming up a little bit later on. All right, period number 2 is underway, as the goaltenders have switched ends. And here we go. Out to center ice now. Coming up, this is Miranda off the back wall there to kind of caromed out. And luckily for Justin McCula, he had Dita Menes there just to play it away. Otherwise, that could have been very interesting. Out to center ice it comes now for the Flyers. This will be Josephson. He lost it there. Back the other way now. Moving in once again is Vernan, and a quick shot on net. Save made by Pakula. And he holds on. And I tell you what, after that goal the Eagles scored late in period number 1, it has energized this team a lot.
Shots in the first period favored Little Falls 11-2. Pakula was 1 of 2 for the Flyers in goal. And Zach Peel, sophomore for Becker Big Lake, was 10 of 11. There was just 1 penalty in the first period. It was whistled against Becker Big Lake, and the Flyers did not score on the power play.
Here's Johnson now, holding it in. Played around the boards to Remington Rentke now in the corner. Remington had his pocket pick there from Beckstrom. Back to the point once again. This is Johnson putting it towards the netminder. Peel, rebound loose in front. Remington Rentke, shot by Philippi, scores! And Mario Philippi gets it by the netminder Peel. And the Flyers regain the lead at 2-1, and Mario has his 9th of the year.
Nothing but persistence for the Little Falls Flyers in front of the net. Good job by Johnson at the line, taking the initial shot. Remington Ratka took the first whack at it. The second whack belonged to Mario Philippi, and he made the deposit into the Becker Big Lake net, giving Little Falls a 2-1 lead, and for Mario Philippi, his 9th goal of the season.
So the 9th of the season for Mario. Remington Redka should get 1 assist, and probably Johnson will get the other assist on that one. And they're actually just going to give it to Remington Redka, the lone assist, and it is 2-1 in favor of Little Falls. Flyers back on the attack once again. Peel looking over the shoulder. The Eagles trying to clear it out. Held in for a short time, still held in, as it played there by Jackson Card. Now here's a shot and a goal! And coming to score that one is Devin Young, getting his first varsity goal.
Flyers use their 4th line, and it doesn't take long as they score for the 3rd time tonight, and it's Devin Young with his first varsity goal. He drifts towards the right faceoff dot, fired a wrist shot from there. It beat sophomore goaltender for the Becker Big Lake Eagles, Zach Peel, about 2 feet off the ice, and it's given Little Falls a 3-1 lead.
Hey, Jamie, if you're going to get your first goal, you might as well get it on TV, right?
That's right.
Exactly. So Devin Young gets the goal. Landon Johnson the assist. Maybe he smiled for the camera also, but he picks up his first varsity goal, and it's now 3-1 in favor of Little Falls. An icing call coming up here against the Flyers. We'll bring it back down in their end, but it's great to see when you can get the 4th line even scoring.
About 30 seconds apart, the Flyers get goals 2 and 3 on the night. It was Philippi at 1:16, his 9th goal of the season. Remington Redka with the first assist, and I believe in the end Johnson will get the second assist on that Flyers' second goal. And then at about 1:46 of period 2, it was Devin Young's first varsity goal, single assist to Landon Johnson. 3-1 Flyers. Great start to period 2 for Little Falls.
Landon Johnson will get that second assist when everybody's sleeping. That's because head coach Tony Kuchar looks at the film and converses with Jamie Pettit, and they get it all figured out, right? And that normally happens around midnight or so.
Deep into the night.
Deep in the night it is. 3-1 is our score now. Little Falls leads. Back out to center ice here. This is the Eagles with it. This is Beckstrom. Pass too strong there that time for Mornan, and back the other way come the Flyers. Delayed offside. Flyers had to touch up, and that gave the Eagles a chance to clear it the length of the ice, and icing coming up here on Becker Big Lake as Little Falls leads 3-1.
Shots favor Little Falls 17-3. Flyers have a 3-1 lead. 6 shots for Little Falls in this period, just 1 for Becker Big Lake.
What do you think was said in the locker room by head coach Tony Kuchar?
You know, tough to say. I'm not sure if he would have been if he would have got excited, tried to rally the troops, or if he would have just been a little more mundane, kind of let the Flyers figure it out for themselves.
One thing we didn't see a lot of was hitting in the first period, and here's some hits have been putting on right now. Injury coming over and in a lot of pain right now is Hartfell, and he comes off the ice. Here's a chance down below now, and save is made by Peel, and then we get some pushing and shoving after the whistle, and the officials coming in now to try to break that up.
We have that 4th line for Little Falls on the ice. Dean DeRozier, Devin Young, Jackson Card.
You can see the pushing and shoving on the replay there, just kind of mucking things up a little bit right in front of the netminder Peel. See if anything comes out of this, any penalties or not. We might have something here. They're maybe just ushering people to the appropriate benches.
Just reminding everyone to behave in front of the net.
Well, the official's standing at center ice right now. They're going to talk things over here, so to see if they want to maybe...
Yeah, they'll probably take 1. They might take 1 from each side.
Trying to figure out which number.
They're going to bring in the linesman. They're going to ask him if he had a chance to take a look at what was going on.
Referees are John Rice and Steve Mickelson, and the linesman is Nolan Bloyer. Roughing call is coming up here on the Eagles.
Just on Becker Big Lake. Boy, it took a long time to sort that out.
Ryan Mernan going to the box, 2 minutes for roughing.
Second power play for Little Falls tonight. Flyers are 0 for 1 with the man advantage.
Looking down here in the Becker Big Lake bench here, and right now that injured player is Hartfeld. He's in a lot of pain right down here right now. Minute 49 on the power play. As you mentioned, the second power play of the night for the Flyers. 0 for 1 so far, looking to see if they can add to their 10 power play goals on the year. And as we talked about in the first period, Ben Sawada, he leads the team so far with 6. And looking now for a chance there, that time was Remington Redka. Centering a pass there to Sawada just out of his reach. Back to the point it comes to Jennings now. Back to Sawada now in the circle, in the corner. He'll go behind the netminder Peel. They'll play it over on the far side there as it's touched by DiDomenes. Then to Remington Redka. Around it goes. Quick shot taken there by Johnson, and just getting a piece of that one was the netminder Peel. Otherwise, that looked like it was going to be in the back of the net. Moving in now is Jennings, and that goes off his skate. Sawada now with it. He'll play it to DiDomenes. DiDomenes at the circle. Back now over to Jennings. Now on to Johnson. Right side, this time to Redka. Down low to DiDomenes. Shoots. He scores! Nice passing and a power play goal scored by Bryce DiDomenes. His first of the year on the power play. His 10th goal of the season.
Good pass from Remington Redka down low to Bryce DiDomenes. He beats Zach Peel, puts the puck into the Becker Big Lake net. And Little Falls has a 4-1 lead. As you can see, DiDomenes from the goal line extended, gets the pass from Remington Redka. DiDomenes on the forehand, beats Peel, and it's given Little Falls a 4-1 lead. Power play marker for the Flyers.
So DiDomenes, his first of the night, 10th of the year. And Jennings and Remington Redka will get assist on the goal, and it is now 4-1 in favor of Little Falls.
That was a well-deserved power play goal for Little Falls, as they had complete control on that power play, moving the puck at will around the zone, and Jennings gets it down to Remington Redka. Redka finds DiDomenes along the goal line extended, and he just peeled away from that goal line extended to put the puck into the net.
Devin Young just missed a shot there. He nearly had his second goal in as many shifts there as he got a pass from Jackson Card. DeRozier out there too in that fourth line, and they nearly came up with another one. Held in now here by Murad in the corner. Murad waiting for the players to change up here for the Flyers. Capan's jumped on, moves in. Capan to the opportunity there. That one goes off his skate, and then Becker Big Lake going to clear it the length of the ice and get some well-deserved breather here, as they've given up 3 so far in this period.
And the 3 goal scorers for Little Falls in period 2, Mario Philippi, Devin Young, and Bryce DiDomenes on the power play. And Bryce DiDomenes now has at least 1 point in 8 consecutive games. DiDomenes has only failed to record a point in 2 games this season for Little Falls. The senior captain, he's the left wing on the first line, continues to play well.
There's a shot by Axel that redirected out of there by the netminder Peel into the safety netting and out of play.
And the Flyers have a different type of a line combination. It looks like Capan, Josephson, and DiDomenes.
Yep, with Gendro and Axel out there. Score update for you Wild fans. Jason Zucker scoring number 12 of the year, and the Wild lead 2-0 over New Jersey. That in the second period.
They had a message that said Jared Spurgeon from the Minnesota Wild put on an unbelievable display of skill that you have to see to believe. So that'll be maybe Sports Center tonight.
Possibly.
For sure on the NHL channel.
Here's a chance in front for the Flyers again with a 4-1 lead. 10:50 to go here in the second. Shots 20-3 now in favor of the Flyers. It was 11-2 after 1, so they've got 9-1 so far already, and 3 goals. Down low, Capan backhand, and Peel makes the save there. Opportunity in front once again for Little Falls, and just trying to get it out to center ice, and just out of the zone it comes as DiDomenes unable to hold it in. DiDomenes will fire it back in off the end wall, trying to get there first to Sawada. Was touched there briefly there by Mihalic. Now a chance down below, wraparound attempt there by Redka, and then we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. I think the net has come off the magnet, I believe.
I think the net came off, and or the officials lost sight of the puck in front of Zach Peel, the Becker Big Lake goaltender.
Well, that looks like it didn't come off. They must have just lost sight of it.
We're going to use Ben Sawada Remington Redka and Mario Philippi on this line, for forward line for the Flyers. Good shot by Philippi.
He scores! Mario Philippi. And Mario's got his second of the night, and he's in double digits now on the year. He's got 10.
Flyers win an offensive zone faceoff, and the end result is a Philippi goal, 5th of the night for Little Falls.
And a 5-1 lead now here for the Flyers. Let's see if maybe head coach Doug Fredericks maybe wants to call a timeout here just to settle things down. Looks like they're going to say play on.
We talked about it in the first period. Little Falls unable to win faceoffs last week. They win faceoffs tonight.
Sawada will get the lone assist on the goal. Here's a chance now, and that one hit the crossbar that time by the Eagles there, as it was Buntrock that was out camped in front there. He got it up high on the netminder and just hit the crossbar. Back the other way comes Sawada. Shot taken there, and he slides right through. Penalty coming up here against Little Falls, as I think Remington Redka going to go to the box. We'll have to wait and see what this is going to be.
Time of the penalty will be 7:17 of period 2. It's going to be a Becker Big Lake power play.
Now hold on now here. The officials are talking.
They changed their mind?
And actually it's not. It's going to go against the Eagles instead.
Okay, check that.
As it was Redka that was upended, as Beckstrom took him into the boards. And the officials talking right now here, is this maybe a major penalty? I don't know if we have the replay on that at all, but in the corner, this is where this happened, where it was just to our left, so hard to see. Officials talking right now here. Must be the captain out there, Alex Doran.
It's the second lengthy discussion the referees have had in this period.
It is a boarding call. They're going to give him 5.
It'll be a 5-minute major for boarding.
At first, it looked like Remington Redka was going to get called for the penalty. However, he came out with no stick. That's what I thought the infraction was going to be, him up along the boards.
It's very difficult for us to see what goes on in the left wing corner in the second period in the Becker Big Lake zone.
So a 5-minute major here, as in the box will be Logan Beckstrom. And the Flyers can score at will as many times as they like in this 5 minutes. Let's see if they can get a few on the board and extend this lead. It's 5-1 right now. Played to the line, held in there by Johnson. Great stick work by him. Johnson gets it to Jennings. Now over to Redka. Redka now to Johnson. Johnson falls down, spins over to Jennings, walked in front. Back to Jennings now at the circle. Now over to Johnson. A little shot towards the net, save made, tipped in front. And another save there by Peel. On the doorstep that time was Ben Sawada.
The penalized Becker Big Lake player was Logan Beckstrom at 7:17 of the second period. A 5-minute major for boarding. And on the replay, you can see again, there's Bryce Diamenez down at the goal line extended. Earlier in the period, Diamenez scored from a similar position. Shot came on, and Diamenez was there once again. Save made, though, this time by Zach Peel.
Great camera work on that one, guys. That was a good shot there of Diamenez getting a second opportunity there. Here now coming in, this is Murad. Murad goes into the corner. Murad sits there for a minute. He bumped off the puck. Murad trying to pull it out there with Josephson. Josephson now has it back to Axel. Axel passes over back to Murad, right side. Murad's got some room. Now he gets it to Axel. Axel, a wrist shot, save made there by Peel. And he puts that one in the corner again. Here's Josephson, back to Axel. Axel now walks into the circle. Now will back out once again to the left point. He'll go to the right point side to Murad. Low shot there, and that hit traffic in front, never reached. And it'll be played along the boards, but not out. Held in at the right side there, and then cleared the length of the ice here by the Eagles. Still 3:25 to go on this major penalty to Logan Beckstrom for the Eagles for boarding. And the Flyers can score as many times as they'd like here. Right now they lead 5-1 with 7:58 to go in the second. Flyers on the power play once again. This is knocked down, held in though nicely by Johnson again. He'll get it over to Jennings. Back to Johnson now. Johnson, wrist shot there. Peel makes the save and holds on. Nice job by the Eagles defense that time to push out all the forwards, so Peel had an easy catch.
Jennings and Johnson patrolling the end boards for the Little Falls Flyers on this major power play. Eventually, it's Johnson with the shot from the top of the slot. A good controlled shot from the captain. Landon Johnson was on, and Peel made the save.
Wild update. It's now 2-1 as New Jersey has got one. That's still in the second period. 5-1 is our score here. There's a quick shot taken there by Redka, and that's sticked out of play by the netminder Peel.
Good distribution of the puck by Landon Johnson from the top near the blue line. Goes down near the right faceoff dot to Remington Redka. He'll take a shot from there, and Peel makes the save and wisely deflects that into the safety netting high above the Becker Big Lake net.
Back to the point again. That one handcuffed the netminder Peel, but he hugs the line as that shot came from Landon Johnson and the save is made. And another faceoff coming up with 2:44 still to go here on the major penalty to Beckstrom for the Eagles.
Little Falls, this is their third power play opportunity. Earlier in the period, they did score on the power play thanks to Bryce Diamenes.
There's an opportunity this time by Johnson. He'll just float that over the netminder. Picked up here by Diamenes. Back to Landon Johnson. Shot on net. Save is made. Rebound there and up taken by Sawada. He'll play it over to Redka. Redka now trying to get it back to Sawada. Knocked away there briefly by Duran. And this will go up and out of play once again. And another whistle stops play.
Flyers scoring in bunches in period 2. They get their first 2 goals of the second about 30 seconds apart. And then they score 2 more goals about 15 seconds apart. So it's been a good, productive period for the Flyers here in the second.
Face off in the left circle. Devin Young there trying to win that draw. Here's Card sending it towards the netminder, and Peel once again in the blue paint will cover up for Becker Big Lake.
Becker Big Lake down 4 goals. They're on a major penalty kill for another 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Little Falls has recorded 16 shots on goal here in the second.
Back now once again along the boards. This is Jackson Card sending it towards the netminder Peel. Card has it behind the net. DeRozier is out there. Also out there is Young. That's that 4th line for the Flyers, and it's cleared the length of the ice.
And the Flyers are using Trenton Axel and Andrew Murad defensively.
Yep. Axel has it back there, gives it to Murad. Murad will skate it up now, pass over to Card. Jackson Card outlet pass. That goes off a stick there, actually, of Weston Shrug, who's the leading scorer here for the Eagles, but he has been held off the scoreboard so far tonight. Still a minute 30 to go on this major penalty, and DeRozier will actually tip this one right into his own bench for a stoppage of play.
Little Falls' next game is Friday night. They will play Rochester Lourdes, a game that was postponed back in December. It's going to be a 5:45 varsity start. The JV will play a couple hours prior to that, but the varsity game is going to be about 5:45 because there's a Bantam tournament here this weekend, or this coming weekend.
Yep, this weekend.
So they're going to try to play a late Bantam game after the varsity game concludes with Rochester Lourdes.
This is the first of 4 more games coming up at home. As you mentioned, that Rochester Lourdes game on Friday. And then a week from tonight, you have Little Falls taking on Princeton. Shot there by Redka, save made, and Diamenes got an opportunity too. And then the last game to end out this homestand will be Cambridge, and there's a shot to goal scored by Diamenes. And Bryce Diamenes has his second of the night.
Give credit to Landon Johnson for holding the puck in the zone. Diamenes cleans it up at the side of the net, but it was Johnson. The puck was ready to escape into the neutral zone. Johnson got the stick there, held the zone. Shot was taken. I believe it caromed off the end boards to Diamenes. Diamenes at the side of the net pokes it in. 6th goal of the night for Little Falls.
So Diamenes, 2 more for him tonight. He now has 11 on the year. And Landon Johnson will get 1 assist, and the other assist will go to Josh Jennings. And it is now 6-1 in favor of Little Falls.
That was a big-time play by Landon Johnson to hold the puck in the zone. There's a very good chance that was going to escape into the neutral zone. Johnson held it in. Because of that, the Flyers were able to hold the zone, and eventually it was Diamenes for the second time tonight on the power play.
And since it's a major penalty, the penalty still is on the board for another 18 seconds, so the Flyers still could get another one here yet. They have to hurry up with just 10 seconds left here on the power play. Devin Young will come out of his own end. Gets it to Jackson Card. Tried to pass it now here on the tape of, this is Gendro with a shot on net. Peel makes the save. And the penalty has expired there, and back to 5-on-5 hockey. Little Falls picks it up at center ice. This is Trenton Axel dumping it across the blue line. Played back out to center. Here's Shrug. He was wide open, but he couldn't hang on to it. Actually had to pass it back there to Buntrock, and a penalty coming up here now against the Flyers. It looks like Trenton Axel is going to go to the box.
Yeah, it appears he might have got a little too aggressive along the far side.
Now they're talking about this. This could be a major too.
I'd be surprised. Really?
Wow, he gave him a boarding.
Well, there was some distance between the Becker Big Lake player and the boards. Axel hit him, and I think we're going to have another look at it. It occurs along the spectator's side, and Axel hits him. There was a gap between the Becker Big Lake player and the boards, and the officials ruled that it's going to be a 5-minute major to Axel for boarding.
Wesley Witashik was up along the boards asking for an explanation here, and head coach Tony Kuchar gets into the conversation a little bit too. And
12:38, the time of the penalty.
So now it's the opposite way here, as the Eagles will be on the power play for 5 minutes. Shrug with a shot, save made there by Pakula. Just the fourth shot he's seen in this game, the second in this period.
He hit him, but he didn't hit him really hard.
No.
I didn't think.
Well, they probably looked at the other one and wanted to even it up, I guess.
And of course, we didn't have a really good look at the Becker Big Lake boarding penalty because it was kind of in the corner that we have a tough time seeing.
Shrug will dump it in. Played along the boards out to center ice. Flyers do have a short-handed goal. They actually have a couple. One of those, let's see, Bryce DiDomenes, I know, has one this year. Might be that's the only one, actually, this year. Just one.
Only short-handed marker.
In the career, though, DiDomenes has one. Also, Andrew Murad has a short-handed goal in his career. So they have some guys that can do that. Here's a chance, and wide open shot score by Weston Shrug, and he's got his 19th of the year. And it's now 6-2, and there's still 4:16 to go on the major penalty to Trenton Axel.
Time of the goal, 13:22 of the second period. Good job of cleaning up that rebound by Becker Big Lake's leading scorer, Weston Shrug.
Just a backhand attempt towards the netminder, as you saw there, and then Shrug was wide open as that pass came over and he put it in.
Yep, Pakula gave up the rebound, and Shrug was there to clean it up for Becker Big Lake. And second goal of the night for the Eagles. It's on a major power play, and it's 6-2.
So Shrug will get 19th goal of the year. The lone assist goes to Ryan Murnan, and it is 6-2 now in favor of the Flyers. Here's Remington Redka, short-handed, moving in, winding his way around a couple of Eagles and never got a shot off. Now he gets it back again. He's trying to pick up that loose puck for a shorty. Opportunity here once again for the Flyers out to center ice. This is Jennings. He has to wait until Redka gets on side, gets it across the line. Glove down there by Mihalic, and then it'll be picked up here by Philippi. Philippi now goes behind the netminder Peel. On the short-handed, mind you. Philippi now gets it over to Gendro. Gendro settles it down, puts a shot towards the net. That knocked down and picked back up by Mario Philippi. Team speed here, definitely in favor of the Flyers on the ice. This will be dumped all the way down this time by Jennings. 3:15 to go on the major penalty to Axel. That'll basically take us to the end of the period, as there's only 2:30 left. So they'll still have 39 seconds left in the third period. This shot from Shrug comes on net, and Pakula makes the save.
A long distance shot from Weston Shrug, just inside the Little Falls Flyer blue line. Easy save made by Justin Pakula, the junior goaltender for the Little Falls Flyers. 10-5 this year as Justin Pakula. Prior to tonight's game, save percentage of 89.8%. He has one shutout. That was a big one, James Hershey in Fergus Falls earlier this year, 1-0.
A huge shutout there. Here's another shot towards the netminder. Pakula got a piece of that one, as that one coming off the tape that time of Murnan, as Murnan's got an assist so far in the game tonight for the Eagles. Out at center, Murnan with it, trying to get it across the blue line. Glove down there nicely by Johnson and sent the length of the ice.
It's been a busy second period. It was 1-1 after one, and the Flyers have outscored the Eagles 5-1 here in period 2.
Yeah, they've outshot them too at 19-3 here in this period. But a 4-goal lead right now for Little Falls. They had it up to 5, but it's back to 4 after the Shrug goal. Short-handed 2-on-1 here for the Flyers. Coming in, pass over, shot, score! Ben Sawada with the short-hander and a beautiful pass there from Bryce DiDomenis.
Tremendous patience from Bryce DiDomenis. He waited until Sawada was in position, delivers the pass, and Sawada, no doubt about it, shoots the puck past netminder Zach Peel. 7th goal of the night for Little Falls. This is a shorthanded goal. 2nd shorthanded goal of the season for the Flyers. But DiDomenis was in no hurry. He waited until Sawada was ready. Sawada may have even called for it. It came over, and Sawada shoots it into the Becker Big Lake net.
Ben Sawada with his 12th of the year. That's his first shorthander of the year and the first shorthander of his career, too. As the assists go to DiDomenis and the other will go to Andrew Murat. And it is now 7-2. That is shorthanded goal. Here's Murnan now going in with a backhand attempt on the netminder Pakula. He makes the save. And we're back down in the Flyer zone again with 1:05 to go here in the period. Still 1:40 to go on the major penalty. That to Trent Axel for boarding. As we're under a minute to go now. This is Murad. He's pinched up along the boards there by Shrug. They release. Back the other way now. Here comes Kapan. Kapan going to race all the way down, get the puck. He's got a man in the slot. That being Josephson. Kapan now fires a shot on net. Save made. Backhand attempt there. That one just wide. Team speed definitely in favor of the Flyers tonight. They are getting to the pucks first. Even though the Becker Big Lake Eagles are on the power play, the scoring chances have come for the Flyers here tonight. Inside of 25 seconds to go here in the period. 7-2 our score. Up on the far side that time, touched there by Buntrock. And he'll get it on the tape there, and it'll be brought in by the Eagles. Sent back the length of the ice here by the Flyers. That should kill probably the rest of the period. Remington Rutka actually going to get there first. Centers it out. One-timer there by Philippi at the horn. And Peel has to make the save to preserve the 5-goal lead. Wow.
Great chance for Little Falls late in the period. We have a look at it. Retka pass from the end boards to Philippi, driving hard towards the net. The goal would have counted had it went in, but Remington Retka did not give up on that play. Along the end boards, he spotted Mario Philippi. Those two work so well together. What a penalty-killing combination. Remington Retka and Mario Philippi, they both get stronger as the season goes on. A good job for Little Falls on that penalty kill, a major penalty kill. There's still 38 seconds remaining in the 5-minute major to Trenton Axel. The Flyers have a 7-2 lead. Kind of an eventful sequence of events. Becker Big Lake gets one on the major power play, and Little Falls gets one shorthanded. They nearly got a second shorthanded marker, but Philippi was thwarted by goaltender Zach Peel as the horn sounded to end the second.
What an opportunity there. The Flyers come up with 6 goals here in the second period. It was 1-1, mind you, after the period, after one period of play. And here's 6 goals for the Flyers, just 1 for the Eagles. And our score now is 7-2.
On Thursday night, you and I commented at times during the game in Little Falls' 5-1 loss to St. Cloud Cathedral. The Flyers were 0 for 6 on the power play, and we thought they might have been a little intimidated at times with the man advantage because of the speed of St. Cloud Cathedral. That's what I feel was happening in the second period, that Becker Big Lake was maybe intimidated by the speed of Little Falls, and instead of executing in the offensive zone on the power play, they might have been looking over their shoulder thinking, where is those purple and white Flyers?
One thing that you got to look at too, Jamie, tonight is the Flyers are rolling 4 lines tonight. They're being fresh out there, where you're seeing the Eagles with 2 lines and spotting a third occasionally. So you're starting to watch here as this game goes on, as you're watching at home, the team, the Eagles, are starting to lose some of that, that freshness that they had at the start of the game.
Good period for Little Falls. They get 6 in the second, and they take a nice 5-goal lead into period 2 intermission.
Should we run down the scoring here quickly, or should we take a break and then come back and run it? What do you want to do?
Take a break and run down the scoring when we come back.
Sounds good. Break. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break here. We'll take about a 10-minute break. We'll come back. We'll run down the scoring of intermission number 2 and get you set up for period number 3. After 2 periods of play here at the Exchange Arena in Little Falls, our score is Little Falls 7 and Becker Big Lake 2. Welcome back. Intermission number 2 finishing up here, and after 2 periods of play, our score 7-2. Little Falls leading Becker Big Lake. James Hershey along with Jamie Pettit. And Jamie, you got a lot of work to do here because you got a lot of scoring to tell us about.
It was only 1-1 after 1 first period goals. On Little Falls is Jake Capan and Max Nelson for Becker Big Lake. Scoring explosion, though, in the second as we have some highlights rolling as I run through the scoring. That looks like that was the Mario Philippi goal.
That it was. The first goal scored for the Flyers here in the second period.
At 1:16, Retka and Landon Johnson received assists, and it gave Little Falls a 2-1 lead. The second goal that we're going to look at, and that's Devin Young's first varsity goal. That came at 1:46. Landon Johnson received the single assist, and it gave Little Falls a 3-1 lead. Congratulations, Devin Young, first varsity goal. And this could possibly be the next goal of the period was a power play goal for Little Falls. That was the Bryce Diamenez goal, his 10th of the season at 4:30.
That's coming right here.
And Remington Retka goes down low to Bryce Diamenez along the goal line extended. He was able to steer the puck around the goaltender. And for Diamenez, his 10th of the season. First assist, Remington Retka. Second assist, Josh Jennings. And just a few seconds later, the Flyers are going to get an even strength goal. And it's going to be Mario Philippi for the second time in the game. It's going to be his 10th goal of the season. The assist to Ben Sawada. And if I remember correctly, that was the face-off win for Sawada. And it didn't take long from there, and Philippi was able to net his 10th of the season.
So then Philippi has his 10th, and then of course he had one earlier, so 9 and 10 tonight for Philippi, a 2-goal night for him. Here's the one by Diamenez that comes off the end wall.
Yep, that was a shot that Landon Johnson did such a nice, I think that was the Landon Johnson save at the blue line. The puck was ready to escape into the neutral zone. Johnson was able to keep it in. It came off the end wall, and Diamenez was there for his second of the game, 11th of the season on the power play at 11:23.
This is where Shrug then scored, and that shot was taken, the deflection there, and Shrug then put it in past the netminder Pakula to make it a 6-2 score.
At 13:22 on the power play, and the final goal of the period came from Little Falls as Ben Sawada shorthanded. Little Falls had an odd man rush as Becker Big Lake had the major power play, a 2-on-1. Great job, good patience by Bryce Diamenez. He was coming down the left-hand side. It was Ben Sawada down the right-hand side. Pass over from Diamenez to Sawada. Sawada quickly into the back of the Becker Big Lake net. 7th goal of the game for Little Falls. Flyers took a 7-2 lead into the second period intermission. Diamenez and Andrew Murad received assists on that 7th goal of the game for Little Falls. Shots on goal in the second, 21 for the Flyers, 4 for Becker Big Lake. Through 2 periods, Little Falls has a 32-6 shots on goal advantage. Flyer netminder tonight is the junior Justin Pakula. In period 2, Pakula was 3 of 4. Through 2 periods, Pakula 4 of 6. Becker Big Lake, their netminder tonight is a sophomore, number 35, Zach Peel. In period 2, Peel 15 of 21. Through 2 periods, Peel 25 of 32. 1 penalty whistled against Little Falls. It was a 5-minute major to Trent Maxwell. Becker Big Lake has scored 1 goal on the major power play. There's 38 seconds remaining in the 5-minute major to Axel to start period 3. Becker Big Lake has 3 penalties whistled against them tonight, 2 minors and a major, and Little Falls is 2 for 4 with the man advantage. Flyers have 3 goals tonight, special teams, 2 from Diamenez on the power play, 1 shorthanded from Sawada.
There's Remington Retka off the draw there, and that one just missed. And hey, once again, kudos to the camera operators and kudos to the guys and gals in the truck for getting a great job of all those replays on the goal. That was a great job, guys.
This monitor is just great for the color analyst, I'll tell you that.
I was going to say it is. It works out well. All right.
I'm 10 times smarter tonight than I am for a regular radio broadcast because of the replays.
We'll get you caught up on some scores, too, in just a minute. Save made there by Pakula. Holds on. Still 6 seconds remains here on the major penalty to Trenton Axel. Score update in Sartell. 2 periods complete. And it is St. Cloud Cathedral leading Sartell by a score of 3-2. So that is a game definitely of interest. The top 2 teams right now in Section 6A battling down there. I have a girls' final for you. It was Brainerd Little Falls 5, Princeton Big Lake Becker 2. So the Warrior girls advance with another win. They are now 18-1 on the year. And they have 2 big games coming up here on Thursday and Friday. Thursday night, they will be in Sartell to take on Sartell Sauk Rapids. That is a radio broadcast we'll have on Little Falls Radio on FM 94. A 7 o'clock pregame, 7:15 drop of the puck. Girls hockey, Brainerd Little Falls versus Sartell Sauk Rapids. And then Friday night, as you see the shot there by Sawada and the glove save made by Peel. Friday night, a huge game for the girls, as it will be another section game against the Rosal Rams, as that has been the team to beat normally in the section. That will be up in Brainerd at the Essentia Health Center up there.
That's a little trip for Roseau, from Roseau to Brainerd.
So those are the upcoming games here for the girls. Once again, final score, girls hockey tonight, Brainerd Little Falls 5 and Princeton Becker Big Lake 2. Back to action here now. Flyers back to full strength, 5-on-5 hockey here, and they're leading 7-2. Right now we're at a 5-goal differential. If the Flyers would tally one more goal, we would go to running time on a 6-goal differential, and we have a stoppage of play as the net has come off the magnet here down in the Eagles' end.
Normally we see Ben Sawada centering Bryce Diamenez and Adam Josephson and Jake Capan between Remington Retka and Mario Philippi. Back in period 2, we saw the centers trade positions. So Capan is now centering Diamenez and Josephson, and it's Sawada between Retka and Philippi.
Action here once again. Eagles running around the boards. Axel able to keep it in. Sends it towards the net. Saved by Peel. Whacking at it right in front there was Capan. Another save by Peel. And he will hold on. And he has been busy tonight, seeing a lot of rubber his way.
And Jake Capan was in on that play for the Little Falls Flyers. Capan got the scoring started tonight for the Flyers at 3:42 of the first period. And for Capan, his 4th goal of the season.
Coming up here in the post-game show, I think we're going to get a chance to talk with head coach Tony Kuchar.
We're going to ask some tough questions tonight.
Oh, yeah.
All fastballs, no softballs. A couple curveballs mixed in.
You're going to do that, right? There's a chance down low. Jackson Card now with a backhander save made, trying to dig it out of there and poke it in right now is Ethan Ballou. And Peel looks up to him and says, I got the puck here. You can stop whacking away.
Peel was under siege. The net came off, I think, behind him.
Don't forget the Flyers back in action here on Friday night at the Exchange Arena. No TV, no radio, so you're actually going to have to come in person and watch the Flyers here.
I just might do that.
As they take on Rochester Lord. At a 5:45 start for the varsity JV game, I believe starts around 4 o'clock. Shot taken there from the right side there, and that one hit the netminder Peel once again. There's a big hit behind. That time as playing out the player there was, I believe that was Chakowski. Here's now Murad, and a glove save made there by Peel. And he will hold on once again for the Eagles.
Becker Big Lake turned the puck over because Chakowski just rammed an Eagle into the end boards. Eagles coughed it up. It came back to the blue line, and from there, Murad stepped in, took a shot from there. The junior defenseman with a good play got it onto the net, and the Eagle netminder Peel made the save.
Our next television broadcast for hockey will be coming up on February 2nd. That is when Little Falls plays at home against St. Cloud Cathedral. Oh, did you see that hit that time? As Johnson sent head over tea kettle that time to the player Mernan.
Just did a cartwheel over top of Johnson.
Good opportunity now here for the Flyers, and Himley just couldn't pull the trigger. Here's Devin Young. He's already got a goal tonight, looking for maybe a second. Penalty coming up here. I think we're going to get a cross-checking call. They're going to call interference here on the Eagles.
Interference called deep in the Becker Big Lake zone. Time of the penalty, 2:54 of the third period. Flyer power play. Their 5th of the night. They're 2 for 5 with the man advantage.
Wow, the big hit of the night there, I guess you could say, Landon Johnson. As Murnan went head over heels.
Johnson just kind of bent down and he went right over top of him.
Here's Johnson now in the power play. Flyers looking to see if they can get another one tonight. They got one so far, an opportunity there by Sawada, that off the side of the net. Jennings now to Sawada, taken away there by Beckstrom, and not out of the zone as it's gloved down there at the left point here by Johnson. Johnson now at the left point, waiting. He'll come to the high slot now. Now we'll move to the right side there. That's where Murad is. Now he'll come back to the high slot again. Passes over to the circle to Jennings. Shot there, save made. Rebound there. Murad fires that one just wide. There's an opportunity once again now for the Flyers in the power play. Sawada to Murad, now to Johnson. Johnson with a wrister there. That hit traffic in front, caroms into the corner, and the Eagles send it the length of the ice. Minute 13 to go here on the power play, and that penalty to Jake Peel for interference for the Eagles. 38-7, shots on the board in favor of the Flyers. They lead 7-2. Here now coming across the blue line. Nice little move there by Dietz. Gets it back down to Murad. Murad along the boards, down the end. Now it's Dietz down to the right circle to Murad. Back to the right point to Johnson. Johnson fakes a shot there, gets it to Murad, moves in, fires a shot, save made there by Peel. This one goes into the corner once again. Jennings now with it. Left circle. He'll pass it to the right side. They're touched here. This time on the tape of Dietz. Dietz had it taken away there by Shrug for a brief time. Now Shrug will send it the length of the ice. And we're down to 30 seconds to go here on the power play, and a 5-goal lead here for Little Falls. Flyers will regroup back in their own end. Landon Johnson will pass it over and out to Josh Jennings. Jennings gets it up here now to Capan. Capan comes across the blue line, right wing side, right corner. He'll go behind the net, Minder Peel. Goes on the left side, now touched here to Josephson. Over to Axel. Axel now trying to get it to Remington Redka, and it just comes out there by Shrug. Shrug wants a breather, too, as he was able to tip it outside the zone. Remington nearly snuck it in.
Well, he tried to disguise the fact that he might have held it in at the blue line, and he did a good job of it, but the linesman was there. He's kind of smiling, knowing that it just came outside the blue line, but Remington did a good job of trying to convince the linesman that it was still on sides.
Penalty time has expired. 5-on-5 hockey. Here's a shot by Axel. And Peel will make yet another save. He's seen 40 shots his way. He's got 33 saves on the night.
And Little Falls is now 2 for 5 on the power play tonight. Power play goals 11 and 12 this season, and both power play goals from the senior captain, Bryce Diamenez, goals 10 and 11.
Minnesota Wild score update. The Devils have tied it up, and we are tied at 2 apiece now. Minnesota Wild and New Jersey Devils, that in the third period early on. Back the other way now comes the Eagles. Arnan with it once again. He'll pass it over on the right side, trying to get to Beckstrom. Played away there by Card for the Flyers, and this goes up and out of play. Actually, it'll stay in play, but it was played by a hand pass, so we'll keep it outside the zone.
Flyers using Jackson Card, Devin Young, and Brett Chakowski on this forward line. Defensively, it's Gendro and Murad.
Arnan along with Card, going to face it off at center ice. And the Eagles win that. Goes off the back of the heel there of Chakowski. He played here by Pakula. Plays it away there from Murad. He gives it to Card. Now back to Murad. And Murad will skate out to center ice with it. Over to Baloo. Baloo lost it off his tape. Goes into the corner. Got a stick up pretty high. Ooh, he got hit hard. That should have been a penalty, and its penalty is coming up here against Becker Big Lake as Baloo went into the boards. And now Baloo trying to put a shot towards the net. And he gets knocked into the net, too. He's paying the price, trying to see if he can score a goal.
Time of the penalty will be 5:57 of the third period of play.
So they're going to call here a cross-check.
Another meeting for the officials, this time in front of the Becker Big Lake net. They reset it.
Haven't made a signal yet on what they're going to call.
Cross-checking.
Cross-checking. All right, there we go. Yeah, Ballou got pasted to the wall. That was very dangerously close to the boards there, too. You could have almost had a boarding call there, too, or a check from behind.
Alex Duran for cross-checking, 5:57 in the third. Little Falls Flyer power play. 6 tonight. They're 2 for 5 with the man advantage. Make it 3 for 6.
And a shot to score. You know what that means, too. That's D. Jimenez. He's got not 1, not 2. He's got 3 goals. That's a hat trick for him.
Bryce Diamenez just 8 seconds into the power play. Little Falls gets their 8th goal tonight, 3rd with the man advantage. Flyers have sent this game into running time.
And D. Jimenez just camped along the goal line, extended there, got that pass down there, put it by the netminder Peel. And just like that, 8 seconds into the power play, they score, and it's now 8-2. So 8-2 is our score. Murad and Johnson will get the assist on the goal. And as Jamie Pettit mentions, with the 6-goal differential in high school hockey, in the 3rd period, you go to running time. So the only time the clock will stop is either a timeout or an injury. Otherwise, this clock will continue to move here for the next 10:28. Unless the Eagles score and to make it back down to a 5-goal differential. Right now it's a 6-goal lead here for the Flyers at 8-2. Shots are 42-7 in favor of Little Falls. This is Devin Young now, a wrister from just outside the blue line, and Peel makes the save. Now Shrug will flip it out to center ice, picked up here now by Remington Redka. His pocket pick, but he lost his stick there. The player that time was Hartfell, and then that was Shrug along with Remington Redka collide. Play out at center ice now. This is Mornan putting a body that time on Lucas Rexton. He's getting some action out there now too. Trying to get it up to Philippi, taken away there by Shrug. He'll dump it all the way back down into the Flyer zone. And Pakula going to leave it off there for Johnson. Out to center it comes, and then Beckstrom fires it in. Glove save made there by the netminder Pakula. He leaves it off for Johnson, and Johnson will flip it out to center ice. Just out of the reach there, Ben Sawada. Picked up here by Lucas Rexted at his own blue line. Rexted gets it up now to Redka. Redka comes across the blue line, left circle. Redka moving in, trying to center a pass to Philippi. Redka gets it back now. Redka has it along the boards. Redka in the circle. Remington Redka still with it. Now to the left point. Now back to the high slot here, taken by Axel. Now pass over to Philippi. Shot there. That one through the blue painted wide. Held in at the left point, however, by Jennings. Gets it down low now on the tape there of Philippi. Then it's Sawada with it. Back to Philippi along the boards. Centers a pass intercepted here by the Eagles, and that'll be Duran. It'll pump it out to center ice. He'll get it right back, and he'll put a backhander all the way down to the left of netminder Pakula. 8:35 to go here in the 3rd. Running time, 8-2 our score. Little Falls leads. Moving across the blue line this time now, and that was Remington Redka with it. He's pasted to the boards there by Jake Peel. Back to the point now. This is Jennings with it. Over to Axel. Shot towards the net. That one goes wide. Picked up off the back wall this time by Josephson. Josephson in the circle. Now he passes over to Trent Axel. Right wing side. Quick shot there. That hit Capan. Capan now has it along the boards, and he'll have it on the right wing. To the right point. Now centers it down into the left corner there. Just out of the reach of Josephson. Going back there was Peel to touch it first for the Eagles. They'll try to send it to the line and out, and finally Max Nelson does send it down the ice. A wave off the icing, I believe here. No, they'll call icing, and we'll be at 5, make that 7:45 and counting here in the game.
I want to thank Helen Pfeiffer
Yeah.
for the lunch. Helen had a little lunch for us in the Zamboni room. That's not uncommon.
No.
Helen makes lunch all year long for the Little Falls Flyers. And I felt bad because Helen told me last Tuesday she had a spread ready for the Sartell game that was postponed. But Helen does a great job, and she had another lunch ready for everyone in the Zamboni room again tonight.
Any Flyer that's played for this Flyer hockey team knows Helen over the past 20-some years she's been here. I mean, you can go all the way back to probably the beginning of head coach Tony Kuchar pretty much, and she's been around.
As Helen pulled up as I was walking in, and I said, Helen, do you need any help? She goes, nope, just get the door. I've got everything covered.
Penalty coming up here against Capan, it looks like.
That might be more than 2.
And then Capan was hit after the whistle there by Garrett Anderson. We'll have to wait and see what they call here.
That's going to be the first penalty of the season against Capan, and it's a 5-minute major for boarding. First penalty this year for Jake Capan, 5-minute major for boarding.
And it'll be in running time here, so they'll have to put that up, and as they put it up, it already will start to tick down as they're down to 6:30 to go here in the contest.
Becker Big Lake to the power play, 3rd time tonight. They're 1 for 2 with the man advantage. They have a power play goal back in the 2nd period from the stick of Weston Shug.
Yep, so they can score at will as many times as they want, and if they do score here, the next goal, that will stop the clock from running on running time because the differential will be less than 6. It'll be down to 5. Marnan coming in, he's taken down. Play continues on that time as Murad might have got away with a hook there or a pull down. Shrug now has it. He's over to the far side. Marnan with a quick shot there. That one knocked down by Murad. He'll play it off the back wall. And here's a chance now for D. Jimenez if he can get there. He does. Comes in, backhand, and he just said it slide off the tape a little bit there, the blade. Otherwise, he could have maybe had his 4th goal. Shot from the point here by Noah Gendro. That one wide. Still 3:50 to go here on the major penalty time. The Flyers right now have the scoring opportunities. Josephson will give it to D. Jimenez in the corner. D. Jimenez will walk it out and then has it taken away there by Jake Peel. Peel comes out now to center ice as he passes it over to Marnan. Marnan comes across the blue line, right wing side, back to give and go there as that was a Hartfell with it. Going hard into the end boards that time was Landon Johnson. He's okay. Johnson now has it. Johnson lost it. Out to the slide it comes, and then the Flyers will clear it the length of the ice. 3:10 to go on the power play here for Becker Big Lake. That major penalty, the boarding call to Jake Capan. 4:40 to go in the game. 8-2 is our score. As the Little Falls Flyers lead, and here's a chance now for Remington. Retka shoots, he scores! 2nd shorthanded goal of the night for the Flyers.
Earlier tonight, it was Sawana scoring shorthanded. This time, it's Remington Retka. Remington Retka is a senior for the Little Falls Flyers. Normally the left wing on the 2nd line, and Retka converts with the shorthanded marker. Remington Retka had it just below the hash marks, low slot, took a wrist shot that beat the goaltender, Zach Peel, 9th goal tonight.
So Retka gets his 5th of the season, and Chakowski will get the lone assist. It's a shorthanded goal, the 2nd shorthanded goal tonight, so they've had 4 special team goals tonight, the Flyers. 2 power play, 2 shorthanded.
Extremely encouraging to get 4 special teams goals midway through the season, past the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to get back in the win column here and break that 2-game losing streak, which is good to see. Here's a chance now for Jackson Card with a shot in the blocker pad there by Peel. Is Jackson Card looking for his 1st goal of his career at the varsity level. Back the other way now. This is Marnan still on the power play they are. That major penalty, 1:30 yet to go, and big hit there. Marnan put into the boards hard. He's down. A penalty coming up here. And let's see who's going to the box now. Looks like maybe Card being ushered to the box.
And it will be Jackson Card.
5 minutes for contact to the head.
That's the 4th 5-minute major in this game. 3 against Little Falls and 1 against Becker Big Lake. The Jackson Card 5-minute major for contact to the head. We're in running time, so approximately the 14-minute mark.
Well, the rest of the game will at least be a major penalty here. Right now, a 5-on-3 for 43 seconds. As you see the clock ticking down on your screen with 2:14 left, we're in running time. And a save made there by Pakula, and he will hold on. 9-2 is our score. The Eagles will have to score 2 goals to make that clock stop.
It was 1-1 after one, and Little Falls had a huge second period. They outscored the Eagles 6-1. Flyers have tacked on 2 more here in the third from the sticks of Diamenez and Remington Retka.
I'm sure head coach Tony Kuchar not too pleased with the 5-minute majors that he's had tonight. There's 3 of those tied against his team. Here's Shrug now with it, coming across the blue line, as one of the penalties is expired now, and now it's a 5-on-4 here for the rest of the game with 1:28 to go and that 9-2 lead for Little Falls. Along the boards here, this is Hartfell with it. Back out to center it comes. Marnan has it. He'll get it up there to Kohler. And a shot on net by Kohler. Save made there. And then Axel will play it along to the boards. Picked up here now by Duran. Duran lost it there to Axel. Axel now being taken down there by Kohler. And we're down to 1 minute to go here in the hockey game. Flyers try to clear it out. It's held in there by Hartfell. In the corner now, it's played here by the Eagles once again. This is Duran with it, trying to take it away there are the Flyers, and they do. As that's Devin Young playing it all the way down just to the left of the netminder Peel. Down to 40 seconds to go here in the contest. And Little Falls going to improve their record to 11-5 on the year. Remington Retka now, he'll be taking in the boards there. And a chance now in front there by Sam Hinley. That's just out of the way. Moran and Redka tie up behind the play as play continues on. Out to the left of the netminder, Pakula it comes. He just throws it to the back wall. 13 seconds left to go here in the game, and hopefully everyone can get out of here without an injury now as the bodies are being thrown around here in the last few seconds. Moran gets over to the right side. Quick shot taken. That one just wide, and the Flyers cleared out. There's the horn, and that's the game. As the Flyers come back from back-to-back losses in the section to Cathedral and also to Sartell. And they come up with an impressive 9-2 win here against Becker Big Lake.
That is the highest goal total for the Little Falls Flyers since December 30th, 2015, when they beat North Branch 11-0. 9 goals tonight for the Little Falls Flyers. 1 in the first, 6 in the second, 2 in the third, as you mentioned earlier. 4 special teams goals, 2 on the power play, 2 shorthanded. The penalty department, though, Little Falls had 3 penalties. All 3 were 5-minute majors. A little unusual. That would be a non-bright spot in the 9-2 Little Falls Flyer win tonight. The fact that they took 3 5-minute major penalties.
Right. Okay, I think we're going to be joined by head coach Tony Kuchar here in just a moment. And it'll give us a chance here, too, to once again thank the crew here tonight. A great job of all the camera operators and the crew back in the truck, too. So thanks so much for that. You'll be seeing a list of those guys coming up here in just a few. And as you see them right now there, and, of course, the advisors, Dave Gertz and Karen Warner, too, along with our director of graphics and our camera operators. They did an outstanding job. So thanks so much to them. And, of course, I know though Dave Gertz has many, many more games coming up here yet. I think there's a wrestling match, I want to say, coming up here very shortly. That might even be coming up on Thursday here on Flyer Media Productions. And then, of course, our next hockey broadcast is going to be coming your way on February 2nd. That is a Thursday when St. Cloud Cathedral will be at home here against Little Falls. Our next radio broadcast will be coming up on the 31st on Q92, as it'll be Little Falls taking on Sartell in Sartell. So that is kind of how things set up for that.
Goal scorers tonight for the Little Falls Flyers. I had Bryce Diamenez with 3 goals. Mario Philippi had 2 goals. Also scoring for Little Falls, Ben Sawada, Devin Young, his first varsity goal, Jake Capan back in period 1. And the final goal tonight for Little Falls was Remington Retka, a shorthanded marker at about the 12-minute mark of the third. It was running time, so an approximate time on that Retka shorthanded goal. And for Remington Retka, it was his 5th goal of the season. As James Hershey's getting Coach Kuchar saddled up for our television interview here in the post-game show.
All right, Coach, can you hear us okay? You can hear us just fine, right? You can hear
Yeah,
me,
oh,
right?
yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. You're on the air right now.
Awesome.
We'll talk
Congratulations.
loud,
We'll
Coach.
talk
Okay.
as loud as we can. Congratulations on
Yeah.
the win tonight, a 9-2 win. Nice to get back in the win column, isn't it?
Yeah,
Coach?
it is. We had that 9-game streak, and then we had 2 losses, and get back in it a little bit, and a little slow in the first again. That's kind of been our MO, but we tried some different things at the beginning with getting ready for the game, and I thought it worked a little bit. At least everybody was on the same page with all of our systems and everything. We expressed different things, and they came and did a nice job with that. But
Tony, you mentioned last night, it's not uncommon that you and I have a phone conversation prior to a Flyer television or radio broadcast. You mentioned last night in the first 5 minutes of the first period that you wanted to ramp up the intensity. Did you accomplish that?
I don't particularly think so. I think we played hard, but I just didn't think our first period was what I expected out of the kids. We've been working hard. I think everybody knows here anyway that we've scored 6 goals in the first period of our 15 games, and that only happened in 4 of the games. So we've only, up until tonight, we've only scored 6 goals in 4 games in the first period, and we want to try to get going in the first period a little bit, and hopefully the next game we have Rochester Lords, and they're going to be a very tough team. And we want to play well in that first period, that first 5 minutes of the game.
Special teams tonight. 2 power play goals, 2 shorthanded.
Yeah, you can't beat that. I mean, we just told them to get after it. Really no system when it came to shorthanded. Just get after the puck and try to make things happen, and that's kind of what we did. And then on the power play again, I think we were 3 for 6. Nice puck movement around down low, and they needed to make some adjustments, and they didn't, and we kept taking advantage of that.
One thing I'm sure you're probably not happy with is having 3 major penalties tonight for your team.
We had 3 5-minute penalties, yeah. Probably not something that we can get away with, and we've been very good on our penalties this year. But to get 3 in one game, and they had at least 1, so there was 4. I mean, that's very uncommon. Normally we take 6 or less penalties in a game, let alone any 5-minute penalties. But they gotta be a little more disciplined when it comes to body checking. And we emphasize 75 hits in a game. We keep track of them, we talk about we don't need big hits. We need smart hits, and some of them weren't very smart tonight.
Another nice night for Bryce Diamenez. 3 goals and an assist, 4 points is what I unofficially have him on the scorecard for tonight.
Yeah, he works very hard. He makes things happen for us. He's kind of our go-to player, and what he lacks in size, he lacks in effort, he produces it with effort and just that drive to make things happen for us. And we changed the lines a little bit. The lines have been the same for quite some time now. We just kind of rotated. We had an opportunity to see some new kids this year. Jackson Card played forward. He's been traditionally a forward for us for a while. We saw Devin Young score his first goal. And then we had Dean DeRozier, who hasn't seen some varsity time for a while. I think he works extremely hard. When it comes to that third line, that's what we need. We need people that work hard, don't get scored on. Our third line, our red line, got scored on in the first period. So we're trying to prevent that. That's not their role. Their role is to get out there, work extremely hard. If goals happen, it happens, but not to get scored on, make some body contact, kind of be that checking line for us. And we tried six people tonight. We looked at for that one line of 3. So we'll have to sit down as a coaching staff and try to figure out who those 3 are going to be for our next game.
Mario Philippi, Remington Redka. They both play so well together. Yeah. They had that penalty kill where they scored. They have a short goal. They had it was at the end of the second period is what I was trying to recall. The end of the second period, and they almost scored.
Yes.
Remington Redka had the puck along the end boards and made the pass to Philippi, and it looked like they were going to score, but it was a nice save made by Zach Peel, sophomore goaltender for Becker Big Lake. They play well together. They have good chemistry.
They do. I have been very impressed with those 2 working together. And again, we want to try to get our lines going and try different combinations here towards the stretch to make sure that we do have the right combinations before we get into the playoffs.
Hey, one score I want to pass along to you. A big game down in Sartell tonight. Final 7-2. Cathedral defeats Sartell. It was 3-2 going into the third. 4 goals scored by St. Cloud Cathedral to win 7-2.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm not too surprised. They're a horse, and they have lots of speed. And I know that Sartell had a game on Friday, game on Saturday, and now a game on Tuesday. Had one practice, so very difficult for that. And it's coming down to 9-10 games in the season now. Everybody's trying to solidify their lines. Everybody's trying to get their power play working, their special teams working. Trying to get everything figured out towards the end here. So that's definitely something that you got to do. Cathedral has got a nice team. They got some overall speed, and they got some kids that fly, and they're hard to contain.
Tony, your defenseman. We maybe don't talk enough about the defenseman. At least I don't. I should maybe blame that on myself. Focus on who's scoring goals and assists, but your defenseman. Tonight you had 6, Landon Johnson, Andrew Murad, Josh Jennings, Trent Maxon, Lucas Rexstead, Noah Gendro. How do you feel they played tonight?
I thought they moved the puck well. I thought that they were tough in front of our net. Behind our net, Becker did a lot of dumping at times to get the puck in, trying to get in there. I thought they moved the puck well. I still think we need to work on them with the shots from the point and different things, getting pucks to the net, getting pucks quick to the net. And moving it that way. But I thought they had good rotation on the blue line tonight. That was good to see. So I was very happy with our overall team effort tonight.
Well, it's good to get in the win column once again. You pick up your 11th win of the year, and now you have up next back at home here against Rochester Lords on Friday.
Yeah, that's going to be a super game for us. That's a game that we need at this time. Just like a Sartell game. It's going to be come down to the wire. Hopefully we can get some good goaltending. Hopefully our kids are excited about playing. They're a good team. They're a fun team. Years ago we there's always a risk of getting injured, but it's been good so far.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the win. And I guess the last question I have to ask you is, what do you think of this guy dressed up
I know.
tonight?
He looks like Don Cherry, kind of. If he had the tie, and he must have lost a bet then. Or
I backed myself into a corner during the radio broadcast last week.
Yeah.
Not quite as flamboyant, but I might be trending in that direction.
Yes, you might have a nice tie and a big collar next week.
Yeah, we haven't seen the tie lately from you
I
yet,
might have
so.
to break it out on Friday. If Jamie's going to dress like this, I'm going to dress up too.
Hey, we want to say a special thanks to Dave Gertz and the entire
You
kid
bet.
too. They did an outstanding job.
They do a
again
great
with us.
job, and they do an awesome job. Take a lot of time to come out of their busy schedule. They're in schools, the high school kids, and they do. I know Dave Gertz is very appreciative of everybody that and the job that they do. So thank you very much to Dave Gertz and all of his camera crew from the high school.
Yes, yes. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Once again, that is the head hockey coach of the Little Falls Flyers, that being Tony Kuchar. And guess what? We're done here tonight.
All in, all done.
We're all wrapped up for this one. And, of course, there'll be more Flyer Media Productions coming up in the near future. You'll get a list of those coming up. And our next hockey broadcast will be coming up once again. That'll be on the 2nd of February when St. Cloud Cathedral takes on Little Falls. So for Tony Kuchar and for Jamie Pettit, I'm James Hershey. Once again, your final score tonight here at the Exchange Arena. It was Little Falls 9 and Becker Big Lake 2. Good night, everyone.
Shut that.